Have you ever been in a situation where you thought it was going to turn out one way, but it turned out so much better? Well, here's a story like that. So follow along, and let's see how it goes.
The Uber rating. Tomas had driven for Uber for 3 years and maintained a perfect 5.0 rating. He kept mints in the cup holders, played jazz at the perfect volume, and never asked personal questions unless passengers wanted to talk. This had been his standard operating procedure since he started driving, but things were about to change. Then he picked up Sarah. Little did he know that this one ride would change his life. She got in crying, gave him an address across town, and immediately apologized for being a mess. Tomas handed her tissues and turned off the music. "Rough day?" he asked gently. Normally he would try and mind his business, but today he couldn't help getting involved. "Rough life. Just found out my fiancé has been cheating with my maid of honor. Wedding's in 2 weeks. To Thomas, it sounded like a real blow, but he did want to help her talk it through if she wanted to. "That's tough. You want to talk about it, or you want me to drive in silence? I can do either, but whatever would make you feel better, and I'm sorry you're going through this. Can you just drive around for a while? I don't want to go home yet." "Sure," he said, understanding that time is indeed a great healer, and in the immediate moment, you don't know how good you're going to be later on. For the next hour, Tomas drove through the city while Sarah talked. About her fiancé, about the wedding she'd spent a year planning, about feeling stupid for not seeing the signs. They both knew that this kind of thing could happen to anyone, even when you're clocking red flags. Quickly, people are clever. "You're not stupid," Tomas said as they stopped at a red light. "You trusted someone you loved. That's not stupid. That's human." "Easy for you to say. You don't know me." "I know you tip well, you say please and thank you, and you're worried about crying in my car instead of just doing it. That tells me you're a good person going through a bad time." Sarah looked at him in the rearview mirror. "You're very wise for an Uber driver." And there goes the judgy comment that Thomas had heard before, and he always just shrugged it off, because people don't know anything about you. They quote or read just making random opinions. But you're mostly wrong. I'm very wise for a guy who dropped out of law school to drive people around and think about life. 2 weeks later, Sarah called for another ride. This time, she was smiling. "How'd the wedding go?" Tomas asked, not knowing what our next words would be. "Canceled it. Best decision I ever made. Want to grab coffee? I owe you more than just a 5-star rating." "I thought you'd never ask." They went for that coffee, and lo and behold, wouldn't you know that coffee turned out to be one of many coffees as they soon became a couple. They've been together for 8 months now. Sarah finished her master's degree and Tomas went back to law school. Sometimes the best relationships start with a stranger who knows exactly what to say, who is kind, and always has gentle, affirming words for you. So, what did you guys think? Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and let me know how you feel about this story.